Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. It is Monday. Happy Monday to you all out there. And we are here on the JADASA Live broadcast, streaming across social media platforms, namely Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as Blog Talk Elations Radio. I am your host, Cynthia R. Bennett, and here on the JADASA Live podcast, we talk about issues. We talk about issues dealing with abuse, neglect in the community. Our platform is used to raise awareness, provide resources, and offer hope through educating, edifying, and encouraging. Well, what we do is, and I want to thank you. I want to thank our viewers, even from last week when we talked about. I've gotten a lot of people that responded about being thankful and appreciative of the conversation that we had last week. To just letting people to know to remember everybody is not joyous at this time. Let's not forget everybody, and let's not just be worrying about our own circle. So I really appreciate the feedback, and to know that it helps somebody, to let them know that, no, we have not forgotten you. We have not forgotten you. We are there for you, and we just want you to know, yes, we do understand. Yes, this is the season. We know it's the season for Jesus Christ. We know it's the season for festivities and holidays and families and stuff, but we also know it's a season that's for depression, a season for pain and hurt, for people who are wanting and longing for loved ones who they cannot be with, whether they're just absent in their lives, or they can't come home, or, they're not coming home through way of death or whatever. So we just want to keep you in mind and let you know that we haven't forgotten you. And we did want to, I did want to bring that segment up about that, because, we just want to know, hey, we got you. We got you. And so I want to thank you, our viewers and our listeners. And I ask for you all to continue to share and tell people about this podcast. Tell them about JADASA. Tell them about the things, the resources we're providing for the community, because this is about our community. And so we want to thank you for being on the podcast, for tuning in, and doing anything that you could do to help, to assist us. And of course, we are a nonprofit organization, and we're always looking for resources. It's in money, volunteer, information, anything that you can give to help us to continue to provide for communities, to provide for women and children in our community, and for the friends. And so, if there's always a way that you can donate. You can go to our website at jadasa.org. We also have Cash App, JADASA STL. And so, anything that you can do can help. What you have done, and I cannot wait to share with you all and to show you this Sunday coming up. We have our Christmas outreach, and I know I put it out on social media a few weeks ago. Matter of fact, it was right after Thanksgiving that we was asking for people to nominate families. And our goal was to have 25 kids nominated, where we end up having close to 70 kids, about 25 families. And so we're appreciative, we're thankful, but we are going to make it happen for those 70 kids. We have bikes and scooters we have just toys galore, toys on top of toys. And so that couldn't have happened. That could not have happened without you. That could not have happened without you providing your money and your resources and stuff. So we appreciate that. And we're always looking for help in any way that you can. But this is going to be a outreach next week. It is an exclusive Christmas gathering, and it's for those families that we were nominated, plus our volunteers and those that's coming to help. But we are going to do a live feed out there to show you. It's only for 2 hours. We're going to be there, get in and get out. But we just want to show you what your dollars are doing and how it is making a Christmas or a happy season or giving kids a holiday that they probably maybe could not have or be, just assist to help, because it always helps. It always works. Everybody needs help. But your donations are fully taxable deductible if you decide that you want to give and donate to JADASA by way of the avenues and the platforms I just suggested. But before we get started, I want to read some announcements. We got one announcement this week. Not, we don't have much this going on now because we're going into the holiday season. However, I do want to share this one announcement because we're always talking about stuff. I did put a post out on Facebook the other day because it came out of a session where a woman who was dealing with this term where people was talking to her about makeup. So I decided to put on some makeup and get out there, and I wanted her to see that post. And not only that, before I had realized we got over 170 likes and people commenting. So it was something that was needed, and apparently other people felt that way, or it helped them. So I'm glad that we did that. And it's about encouraging, edifying each other, building each other up, not tearing each other down. But out of those sessions, we have them every week. This week is Sister Sis. It's called Sister Sis. It is our weekly closed group session. It is a closed group. We come in there, we share, we talk, we encourage, we uplift, we get information, resources. We even help the families. Maybe you're not going through a domestic situation, but maybe your friend or your daughter or your sister or somebody. We have people that will come in and bring maybe their young daughters and stuff and we just help them and share. So this is something we have every week. It's Sister Sis, and it's our weekly group session. Is on Wednesday, and we sticking it to hours 7 to 8. So we need you to get there on time, and so we can get out and come home. And so what it is because it is a closed group circle, and we want to make sure we know who you are and who's coming, and to protect ourselves as well. If you are to come to this group session and you want to be a part of it, we ask you to go online or go online at info or email at info@jadasa.org, go online to our website at jadasa.org and put in your information. Or you can call the 800 number, and we will put you on the list. And when you come, we will verify that you are who you say you are. That, again, is to protect you as well as to protect ourselves as well. And so I just want to put that out there. That is coming up this Wednesday, and it is every Wednesday that we will have these group Sister Sis sections, and we won't have it next week because we're actually going into the holiday weekend. So this will be the last Sister Sis group session for really this year, 2021. So I just wanted to put that out there about that. So again, for more information regarding resources, you can contact us with questions or anything. Again, visit our website at jadasa.org, or you can go to our email and email us at info@jadasa.org. So let's get started. Tonight, I want to discuss bystanding, effective bystanding, bystander intervention. And I know right now we are in a world where it's just a lot of stuff. Hi, Lawana, Sister Fields. How are you? All right now. I see that. So we are, it's a depressing place right now with all the stuff that's going on in the politics, in the world, with crime, just everything, church, families, it's just, it can be a depressing place right now. So it depends on how you view it, and you don't need me to launch into different reasons why the world is a depressing place. Everybody can see, everybody got eyes or ears, and everybody's talking about something or whatever. And even if you dealing with justice, social justice, or issues of that nature, it comes with this. When you have these depressing feelings, it comes with isolation and sometimes hopelessness and sometimes exhaustion, just to name a few. And so sometimes when we're going through stuff and we're seeing people that's going through something, and sometimes we have the sense or the feeling like, what can I do? What can I do? And sometimes we feel like we cannot do anything, or we don't have anything that, to offer. And so this leads me to talk about the importance of everyday actions that can lead to everyday activism. Activism can be just as something as just reaching out to help somebody. You know, you don't have to have this big, giant, huge, humongous platform like some of the well-known activists, and you got to have the cameras and the lights and the actions and the platforms and the radio. You don't have to have all that. Just making a small difference in somebody's life, you can be an activist. Everyday activism. And so, and I'm not just talking about prayer or sending positive vibes, which definitely now let's not go and say Cynthia Bennett said prayer don't work. No, we're not gonna say that. We're gonna clear this up. I'm not just talking about prayer and positive vibes, which definitely helps and has been proven over and over again that it does. Prayer and positive affirmation does change things. We already know that. It has been proven over and over and over and over again throughout the ages that it does changes things. So I do understand that. But I am talking about something more action oriented, something that is more community based. And I'm talking about being an active bystander. Being an active bystander. We can all be bystanders. Everybody is a bystander. And it's whether you're an active bystander or a passive bystander. An active bystander, you're doing something, you're standing by, but you are doing something to make a favorable outcome or to change the outcome. Or you could be a passive bystander and you're just sitting there and not doing nothing. No, I'm out of my own business. I don't want to get in it. Of course, we understand that. Everyday events around us, at some point, we will register in our minds that something or someone is in danger. Every day, whatever we're doing. When this happens, we can decide to do or say something, which is an active bystander, which I just said, or we can just let it go and say, I don't want to have no parts of it. I don't want to deal with it. And that is a passive bystander. So when we intervene, we let the perpetrator know their behavior is unacceptable when we intervene as an active bystander. And if such messages are constantly reinforced in our communities, that everybody become an active bystander. We're going to talk about it because there's some things you can do and some things, if you're not versed in it and you're not comfortable with it and you're not you don't really understand how to maneuver and handle it, don't do it, because the first thing you have to maintain is your safety. You know, I'm not going to tell you do something that's going to put yourself in danger. And so, but if we all as a community intervene and let perpetrators know that their behavior is unacceptable, and if it's constantly reinforced in our communities, we can shift boundaries and we can lessen the unacceptable problem of behavior. We can shift the boundaries. We can change. If you notice back in, I'm trying to figure out what scenario I want to use that, I'm trying to figure out, was it a movie or a play? I can't even remember. But say, for instance, there is a gang in the neighborhood and they want to wreak havoc. And I'm thinking it's a movie and I can't remember the movie. But then all of the, I know what it was. It was a movie. It was a Tyler Perry movie. I think it's Daddy's Little Girls. I think it's called Daddy's Girls or something. And when the community rose up against that drug dealer and the mom who abandoned the kids and all that stuff, and they rose up against that drug dealer in court, it altered, it changed the community. It changed how they were going to live in that community. And not only that, is it in other movies. But my point is this: if everybody intervene and let perpetrators know that their behavior is unacceptable, it can shift boundaries. And that's just one movie that I just mentioned with, that's an example. And so, but learning how to recognize when someone is in danger and how you can intervene safely it's a skill. It's an essential skill. Safely intervening could mean anything from disapproving looks, interrupting or distracting someone, to not laughing at sexist and violent and racist jokes, talking to a friend about their behavior in a non-confrontational way. Because if that's your friend and you know their behavior, you should be able to talk to your friends. Okay. I have a best friend. She can say, no, you know what, you tripping. You shouldn't have done that. And she my friend. Now, I may not like it. I'm okay, but she my friend. She did tell me something before, and I called her back and I said, you know what? I was trying to be mad at you. I really wanted to be mad at her, but I couldn't, because what she said was right. Even though I didn't like it, I didn't like to hear it, and I didn't like it, but I knew she was right. But I did want to be mad at her. And I told her, I said, I was really trying to be mad at you. And she just laughed. She said, you'll be all right. So she just brushed it off. But if you a friend, you can talk to them about their behavior in a non-confrontational way. And then when it's for a friend who is experiencing the behavior, who is on the other end of that behavior that is being projected or targeted to, you can always talk to them and care for them. Are you okay? And I'm here, and what can we do? Just being there. And I talked about that before, about just sometimes just being there. People they're not asking you to write a book. They're not asking you to sit up and give them the ABCs, G's of whatever. Sometimes just being there. And other times, if it means asking a friend or staff or police for help. Sometimes if it goes beyond above what you're capable of or what you're used to, then that is the next step. So how to become an active bystander? Because, a lot of stuff goes on, and the first thing people are like, I don't want to get in it. I don't want to get in it. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to get in it. We understand. Sometimes you can still be a bystander, an active bystander, and not be in it, not be directly involved in it. Because let's be honest, we don't want that repercussion to come back on us. But we know sometimes the situations just don't feel right. It might be comments made by a friend that you feel are inappropriate, or you spot someone being harassed at a party or a club. Being an active bystander means being aware of when someone's behavior is inappropriate or threatening and chooses to address it. You are choosing to address it. And that's the thing. You got to choose to address it. If you do not feel comfortable doing this directly, again, if you do not have this skill to know how to deal with this directly, where you will end up if you cannot de-escalate it, but instead escalate it, then get someone to help you, such as another friend or an authoritative person. Because if you're not skilled in that, and then it causes a bigger problem, then don't do it. Research shows that bystander intervention can be an effective way of stopping sexual assaults before it happens, as bystanders play a key role in preventing, discouraging, and or intervening when an act of violence has the potential to occur. And this is an example that happened today, and it wasn't a sexual encounter or act, but it was just getting ready to escalate into a fight. And so, example, in teaching one of my introduction to business classes, there was these young ladies, and I don't even know what was going on. I was dealing with something else, and all of a sudden I heard all this back and forth, and it was escalating, and and I just said, okay, I see where this is going. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, because it's not going to end well for neither one of you all, because both of you all going to end up going home or getting put out. I said, so let's not go there, because I see where this is going. And I squashed it. And so sometimes when you see the potential that's going to occur, versus just sitting back and not saying nothing, and then it's just constantly escalating. So what it is, I became an active bystander in that. I didn't get directly involved in it. I didn't get up. I didn't go see what was going on. I just heard the stuff going across the room. And I said, okay, I see where this is going. The potential. So you can be an effective bystander. Sometimes just saying something. But before stepping in, try the ABC approach. There are ABC's approach. A, access or assess. Assess for safety. If you see someone in trouble, ask yourself if you can help safely in any way. But remember, before you do all of that, your personal safety is a priority. Never put yourself at risk. Assess the safety. If it doesn't look safe for you, do not go and say anything. You may need to go and get someone else or to call the authorities or something. But you first, before you become an active bystander, you first assess the situation. Now, I assessed the situation between the two. I wasn't getting up going over there, but I did yell out and say, hey, I see where this is going. So I still assessed the situation. I realized that there was potential that it was going to escalate without getting myself in it. But I did make myself an active bystander. I stood on the side, but I still interject. A, that was A for assess. B, be in a group. It was other people there. So they couldn't say, Cynthia this or that lady did that. No, I had other people there. Be in a group. Weigh the situation. Don't address or approach the situation by yourself, because you don't want to be in a situation going against maybe 2 or 3 people going against, harassing a woman or something, and it's just her and you, and you're in the majority. I mean, you in the minority, or when I mean minority numbers, lower in numbers. Don't do that. Make simple statements such as, I was looking for you. If you see someone is being harassed or something that's not favorable, you could just say, hey, girl, I was looking for you, could kind of break that up. But one is letting the person know that you or somebody else is around besides the person that they're targeting. Somebody else is around, that's a witness. Then, of course, if you're talking loud, that causes other people to, everybody always looking to see what's going on, right? So when you open up and say something loud, hey, girl, I was looking for you. You didn't say her name. You said, hey, girl. So everybody that's think you're talking about them, they go look and see what's going on. Now you got all eyes on the situation. That's another way to be an effective bystander and seek care for the victim or the person that's going through. Talk to the person who you think may need help. Hey, are you okay? Everything is okay. Girl, I was looking for you. Where you been? You may not even know that lady or that man. You may not know them from Adam. But what you've done, you've become an active bystander, de-escalating the situation, bringing attention to whatever's going on. Now, everybody, because you done got loud, we can get loud, okay? We can get loud. Hey, girl, I've been looking for you. So everybody go look around and see if you're talking to them. Now you got the attention on this whole situation over here. That could de-escalate the situation. And then you turn around and ask, hey, are you okay, girl? Come on, girl, I was looking for you. And then you tell her later on or whatever. She'd probably be thankful that you intervene in a way and you not necessarily know what's going on. So how can you intervene safely when it comes to intervening? We talked about that. We want you to use the 4 Ds as well. Direct, distract, delegate, and delay. The 4 Ds of intervening safely. Direct, distract, delegate, and delay. Distract. D1. Distraction is a subtle and creative way to intervene. Distract either the harasser or the target with conversation unrelated to the harassment to derail and de-escalate the situation. For example, ask for the directions. Ask for directions. You lost. Hey, girl, where's so-and-so? Or spill your drink accidentally and pretend that you knew one of them. Something to distract that person. Distract. You could even say, girl, is that so-and-so over there? And if that person look up, you can grab them, y'all just start walking off or whatever. So it's a distraction. That is a effective bystander. Even if you're dealing with someone who's in an abusive household and you coming into the party, because now everybody's going to start visiting folks and going places and stuff, that's a distraction. Girl, so-and-so, whatever. They look off, you just grab them, y'all go in another room or something. It's a distraction. Okay. So that's distraction D1. D2 is delegate. Bring in a third party to help, possibly someone with more perceived authority. You know, maybe it's the auntie, maybe it's Mima, maybe it's grandma, maybe it's, somebody, the police or whatever. Example, alert a store manager. Now, this is a good one here. If you know somebody is probably in a situation where there's getting ready to be some issue going on or some danger, and you're in a store, you in some kind of public place, you at a club. I don't go to clubs, but you at a club or you're at the store, you're at some place where there's a lot of people. You can go to the front of the store or the manager say, hey, someone's lost. Can you, and if you know the person, can you call them on the intercom? I know it works, folks. Let me tell you something. My mother used to embarrass the heck out of me when I was growing up. I thought I was cute and I thought I was grown, or, I was a teenager, but I thought I was grown. And, back then when we was growing up, they used to have house parties. They don't have them. I don't think they have them now, but they used to have house parties. I would always go to a house party. And my mom would say, well, be home at 10 o'clock. I'm like, Mom, at 10 o'clock, it's just stuff just be like popping off. Get home by 10 o'clock. Well, me, I would push it. We at the house party. Now, like I said, they don't have house parties now. And this stuff will distract and delegate and all that stuff. When I was talking about possibly getting somebody to call on the intercom, we would be in there dancing. All of a sudden, the music would stop. Cynthia, allow your mom at the front door. Oh my God. I would be so embarrassed. But guess what? It stopped the whole event. And I had to go out to the door. That's the same way with delegating, even though my mom, what she did, she went and told them, go in there and call my daughter out. And what it is, before they start going through everybody, they just stopped the music and had them to say it over the microphone with the mixing table, because we was doing mixing tables back then. She delegated. She had a third party to help her with what she was going to get me out of there and get home, because I didn't come home when she told me to come home. That's the same thing with this delegating. If you know that there's an issue, and it's a different scenario, but the concept is still the same. Get somebody, get on the speaker, get on the PA in the store, and also have them to call that person that can break that, whatever that issue is going on, and you can still be an effective, active bystander without directly being involved in the situation. Does they understand? I hope that helps somebody. D3, direct. Now, this one is where you have to be careful, because if you're not skilled in this area, don't you go directly saying something, because remember, the first thing is your own safety. Respond directly to the aggressor or physically intervene if necessary. Be confident, assertive, calm. Examples: walk up to engage a street harasser. Say street harass. I don't agree with that. But if you ask them and you let them know it's behavior, now if you know the person, fine. Now, if you're a cop or somebody in an authority figure, you may do this direct. Or if you may know the person, you may know them and y'all friends or whatever, and that's your friend and they're doing that, harassing, or they having an issue with their girlfriend and you and your friends are, ace boon coons. Maybe you can be direct that way. So you have to be careful with this D, direct, because it can cause the situation to escalate, not even between them, but maybe you and that person. So versus you de-escalating, you may have to get them off to the side, talk to them later. Hey, dude, that wasn't cool, blah, 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 or whatever, and be direct with them that way. So, but I'm saying with this particular D in direct, you have to be very careful and make sure that you are skilled in this situation, because again, your first thing is for you to be safe and to remain safe. Okay. Now, third and finally is delay. If you can't intervene in the moment, you can check in with the person dealing with targeting whatever the issue is afterwards to see if you can do anything to support them, illustrating that they are not alone. You know that there's some issues and some tension that was going on at the party or whatever, at the house or whatever, they clown, whatever. You can call and talk later and say, hey, what do you want me to do? Whatever it is, just letting them know that you are there. You're there for them. Can we go out? Can we, I talked about this last time, sometimes get them out of the situation. Hey, tomorrow, let's go have lunch, and just so we can just talk, and we don't even have to talk about it. Let's just go and have lunch so you can just get a different feel, a different scenery or whatever. That's a delayed response because you're still dealing with the person who had probably was targeted, the behavior was targeted towards. And so even though you can't deal with them at that time being direct, you can still have a delayed response even after the fact to talk to them, to let them know that, you're there for them. But again, remember, you never put yourself in danger, only if it's safe to do so. If it's safe to intervene, then you do it. But if it's not safe, don't do it, because your first safety is your own safety. And if everything else falls, get on that phone and dial 911. That's what you do. But we're talking about being proactively and being active bystander, because you're going to be either one. We're all bystanders, and whatever issues or situations that's going on, we're all bystanders. You're going to either be an active bystander or you're going to be a passive bystander, because with either way, you are going to be a bystander. And so I just want to talk about this because this is, the holidays are coming up. We're going to be around people and families and friends and stuff or whatever. Some stuff might pop off or whatever. And you may know some things that's going on now that may escalate. But this is just some nuggets I want to put out there because, again, JADASA is a community-based organization, and you are JADASA because you are the community. And we are always talking about educating, edifying, encouraging the community to uplift everybody, because we are trying to lessen the effects of domestic abuse, neglect, and violence in our communities. And with everyone's help, we can get help to those who need it most and work through this crisis, this epidemic together, because abuse is an epidemic. You can also call our hotline number, which is 1-800-799-7233, or the hotline.org. That is the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. Or you can also contact JADASA at jadasa.org, or you can call us at 1-800-292-2145. Now, I will leave you with this, as I always do. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord. And those are thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." Again, I always say God has good thoughts towards us. He does. He has good thoughts that he's always thinking towards us. Those thoughts are always peace. And it's not evil thoughts. They're peaceful thoughts for us. But his thoughts is that he wants us to get the end that we expect. He wants to give us an expected end. What kind of end do you want to expect? What kind of end do you want in your life? What do you want to go? What do you want to be? What do you want to obtain to? Whatever your expectations are, that is what God wants for you. He wants to give you the end that you expect. Now, remember, JADASA is a community-based organization. And you are the community. Therefore, you are JADASA. I want you to remember that. And I'm always going to say that. I always want you to take ownership in that. Always take ownership in that, because it's JADASA 24/7, 365 days a year, all day, every day. With that being said, I want you to be safe. I want you to be well, and I want you to be whole. Good night.